No, I think they could handle it. It's just when when you have 6 guys that are capable of doing it, for the stretch drive, there's going to be some benefits from it. But if we don't have that, we don't have that. So we'll go back to 5. Worst case scenario. So, but again, Mitchell's going to go on for a sim game here. I think if everything checks out tomorrow, he'll have a sim game Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'll just get a chance to talk to Joe and Larry. I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet.
Do you have any sense, based on the fact that CC has this history and the way that he's responded, that he's going to need to miss some starts?
I mean, I'm guessing it's a DL off the bat just because he clocked off the field without even throwing another pitch. It was, it seems to imply that it's something serious. And CC's tough, and he's been pitching through a lot of stuff over the last number of years. So I'm just assuming we're looking at a disabled list, and instead of, having him here for another start.
You're likely to handle this within the organization, though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't anticipate us doing anything outside. Listen, we're in that non-waiver, we're in the waiver trade deadline side, and almost everything is taken off the board. So no, this stuff's going to be fixed. Whatever we need is right here for us.
Could you use Mitchell after the sim game? Would he have to go out? It hasn't been that long, so you could use it as a rehab start?
I think we're going to discuss. One of the things I'll kick around with Joe is, do we want to stretch him out in the sim game, and really stretch him out to, because of what just happened today with CC? Because initially you were just trying to limit it to 20 pitches or so, but now, one of the things I'll talk to him about, do you want to consider stretching him out to 60 pitches, and because of what happened today? So, but all these things will kick around in there, and then you'll know soon enough what we're planning on doing. We don't have any word yet on CC. That'll take a while. I know he's not a good MRI guy, so not that anybody is, but he's claustrophobic, I think, and that stuff. So.
Are there concerns about his career with his knee, which is, has been problematic, and even after he had the surgery, there was no guarantees?
I guess I'll wait to hear from the doctor. Says, listen, he's had a bad knee, and he's had a bad knee that we've had to do surgical interventions on, and clearly he's had it drained, and he gets some injections every now and then for it, and so it's an issue. It's an issue here later in his career, but how much of it's going to be an issue as we move forward, I'll have to wait for the doc to give me some more guidance after he gets these testings. I mean, he's had 2 surgeries on that knee already, so the MRI is going to be, it's going to be a hard read. When you have multiple surgeries and stuff like that, it's not going to be a pretty MRI anyway. But I'll just wait to hear from the experts and be told what to do from there.
He had the knee drained in late June. Has he had any procedures on it since then?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have to double check here, but I think he had another drainage here in the last week. So.
Was that prompted by discomfort or pain?
Probably. I don't know about pain, but he has it done whenever it's necessary, and so I don't want to say that I've not heard the word pain come up until today. When he came off the field, he didn't feel right. So.
Cash, he's had an uneven year. Do you think that's a direct result, perhaps, of the knee?
I mean, certainly one of the reasons. I mean, I could tell today he just wasn't throwing well. What we've seen the last 3 outings, especially, his velocity was down. So you knew he was battling it. But again, I'll just have to wait for the doctors to tell us, and we'll be guided by whatever they say.
Is the MRI today, Brian, or later on?
No, it's today.